Okay, so this video is all I'm going to do is show you how to put multiple predictors into a regression equation. So we are going to go up here to analyze, and you're going to go to regression, and you're going to go to linear regression. Okay, so our dependent variable, remember, is what it is you are predicting, and in this case, we are predicting sales. So in Andy's example, he said we already looked at the relationship between adverts and album sales. All right, so we're going to put adverts as this block one. So block one, this is hierarchical regression. So we're putting the variables in order of importance. All right, so we're saying advertising budget is important. And then we're going to click next. And then we're going to put number of plays, and we're going to put I think this is image. Okay, so we're going to put those as the next block. Okay, so now we're done with that. And he talks a little bit about this method and what's the best method to use. And so he says to go ahead and stick with enter. All right, so we're going to stay enter for both of these. You can always go to the previous and double check. Sometimes what people do, if you don't know the importance of them, is you put all three in here. Okay, but for this moment, we're going to do 2 blocks. All right, so we're going to do this. So we're going to go over here to statistics, and statistics, you have many options, and Andy goes through details explaining each one of these. So I'm just going to select the ones that he recommends. So we're going to go through all of these. This is on page 300, and we're going to do case-wise diagnostics, and we're going to go to 2 standard deviations, and I'm just going to click continue. All right, the other thing he suggests is you go to plots. All right, and so he also goes through and explains each one of these and what each of these represent. All right, so for us, we want the Z residuals, which is the standardized residuals, and we want the Z predicted, which is the standardized predictors, and we want to click produce all partial plots, and we want a histogram and normal probability plot. All right, so he has also got the option where he goes into save. So you can select save, and I'm just going to select these options just so you guys get an idea on what actually happens when you select these options. All right, so earlier in the chapter, he talks about Malinobis, Cooks, and leverage values. He talks about standardized residuals. That means the residuals are all in standard deviation units so that you can compare them. The deleted residuals and the standardized deleted residuals. We're going to do DF beta, and we're going to do standardized DFIT and covariance ratio. And so what these do is they give you an idea of whether our data are normal or not. All right, so we're going to click continue, and once all of that is done, you click OK. And it's going to take a little bit of time here to run. Perhaps it's going to take a little bit of time here to run. So if I go back here, let's see what's going on here with my data. I think it is just taking extra time for it to run. All right, so there you go. So sorry that took a little bit of time, but here's my descriptive stats, and I'm going to go through each one of these in the next few presentations. So my descriptive stats by mean, my standard deviation of my data. Here's my correlations between my variables and my significance, and I'll talk about these. We'll talk about the model summary. So this is model 1 with only advertisement put into the model, and then model 2 is advertising, image, and number of plays. All right, and we'll talk about each one of these models. There's our ANOVA for model 1, model 2, and our coefficients. So if we are developing our regression equation, right? So you get quite a bit of output, and I will walk through each one of these outputs in the slides to come, but that's how you would run your hierarchical regression, linear regression, when you have more than one variable.